report that we do every 2 weeks right now. Looking at the numbers here, they're not any different than what we've been showing you since the year began. If you look at the total sales, the top line there, this is for the month of March, and then we'll do the year to date after that. For March, we're up almost 8% in total sales. And if you look at the average price, the second line to the bottom there, almost 7% in average price. So we're seeing these positive numbers all across the board. The one numbers that are very concerning to us and have always been concerning to us since we got out of COVID is the listings. New listings, yeah, they're up, but if you look at the percentage wise, they're up. It looks like a big percentage, almost 20%. But compared to last year where we had very few listings as well, 737 to 881, that's not a ton of listings when you're talking about a population of 1.4 million people. The active listings, they are down against March of 2023. That's what we want to see come up. We're starting to see it come up a little bit, but it's not moving enough to get rid of the multiple offers, to get rid of the competing bids. So until we see some sort of change in our inventory levels, there's someone outside trying to come in. When we see some sort of change, then it'll be a little bit better market for investors.
Yeah, so what does that look like for us realtors out there? I can tell you, I was in Barbados for spring break, and Tim, while I was away, wrote 8 offers. I came back, and that weekend we wrote another 4 offers, for some for the same client, some for all on different properties. And we managed only to actually sell one property and buy one property for a client. So that's how tough it is to get a property right now. We want to stress this, like it's, and the thing about Tim and myself is it's very, very selective. Sorry, it's very, very, we're very selective on what properties we're looking at. And as investment focused realtors, we actually have to sometimes cut it off.
Yeah, you need the numbers to work. You're not buying your dream home. If you're buying your dream home, we'll go to whatever price that you're willing to pay. But as investors, you want the numbers to work. And that's what's holding us back and holding a lot of our clients back.
Element. Yeah, so that's what it kind of looks like. 12 offers, and we got 2 properties out of that. And for example, we're working with a young couple who actually, they've been investors, Tim, for 3-4 years. And you may have seen some of his YouTube videos. You should, if you haven't. We actually do a walkthrough on there. He bought a 4-plex in Bowness. Before that, we bought a duplex in Canyon Meadows for this young couple that were like, they weren't even living together at the time we met them. Tasha was living with her parents, and Cole was renting a basement suite in Mount Pleasant. Anyway, he texted us this morning to go look at a lot in Bowness. We can't even get into this property because it's got tenants. So we booked for tomorrow afternoon, and someone came through tonight and just paid for the property without even seeing it. So that's, I mean, this lot is a corner lot that could probably have a 4-plex, a row of 4 townhouses on it. So, and Cole and Tasha that are buying this lot, they're simply getting into buying a home that one day maybe they could build on. So it's hard when you're competing against builders, developers out there, but we'll keep trying. Yeah, that's the way it goes.
So looking at the year-to-date numbers, they're not that much different. They show a lot higher average price increase from January to now, almost 12%. So as a result of all these competing offers and people, many buyers out there in the market competing for limited supply, you're seeing the price jump. We don't see that stopping for quite some time until the measures that the federal government's trying to bring in is to slow down immigration a little bit and stimulate building. We're not going to see that number come down too much here in Alberta. It came down a bit in Ontario and Vancouver because their average prices were so high that it was just not sustainable. And then total sales, you're seeing that a 20% jump from the beginning of the year. So these numbers, we're seeing huge increases that we were seeing in the big boom times in 2006, 2007, And then again in 2014, when oil was at over $100 a barrel. So can we sustain these increases? Probably not, but we're going to see, as the year goes on, interest rates start to fall a little bit. We were talking about it earlier before the program. We believe tomorrow we're not going to see an increase or a decrease in interest rates when the Bank of Canada makes their announcement, but we're going to see something over the year, some sort of decrease in the interest rate, because there's too much money being pulled out of the economy and it's affecting other sectors other than just real estate.
Yeah, and one thing with these numbers that Tim's going over, comparing to last March, April, we didn't even have a good month. There wasn't even good times in Calgary. That's when inventory started to dry up. So you know what? It may look like it's getting a bit better, but it's not great. We're usually at around 5,000 listings. We're nowhere near that. So
yeah, it's sort of like talking about the inflation rate, where they said it was great that it's under 3%. It's at 2.8%. But over the last 2 years, prices have gone up 30%. So we're still paying a lot more for everything, even though you see the inflation rate come down, and it's actually a month over month decrease. So the numbers are a little bit misleading, and they're a little bit misleading here as well.